We got a little bit of fresh snow, so my next video is going to be about my plow car. I was hoping we'd get more snow, but this will work. So here's how it works. It's a Chevy Corsica that a tree fell on, caved the roof in. The thing's all rusted out. It's no good for the road. And I had this old snowplow here, so I decided, what the heck? Put the plow on the Corsica. That's what I did. Took some old chunks of bed frame angle iron and welded it right to the cradle. Put some pipes through there, and that seems to be holding. And then I had an old electric winch. Came off of a old flatbed truck, put on there. Bolted that right to the roof. And that works with this switch here that I made for up and down. Just like that. Here's a closer look at how this switch works. This one here has power going to it right from the battery. I actually pulled it right out of the fuse box there. So that energizes this, and each of these are for one's up and one's down. And that sends juice to the solenoid on the winch, which turns the motor the appropriate direction. So to operate it, you just push this, and it touches the mix connection there for up. You go the other way, mix connection over here for down. And I got it mounted to the plastic here, because this is all hot. There's juice going to it, so if it was mounted to any of this touched any metal, it would arc and spark and melt wires and things like that. Because the winch isn't very strong, I have this cable running through a pulley, and the cable goes back up and attaches to the roof. What that does is gives me a block and tackle, so it's more strength. The winch has more power that way. Makes it a little slower, but when the plow gets full of snow, it gets real heavy. And it just rides on the hood here, pulls right over. I can pivot my plow by pulling this bolt out down here. And the plow will manually turn one way or another. There's various different holes. I'm just gotta line them up, slide the bolt in, drops into place. So I've got pretty good tires on the front. They're not brand new or anything. That one is just a regular car tire, and this one is an old snow tire. And I've actually got a few studs in it. There's one there. There's one there. It's a real rotten old snow tire, but it works pretty good for what I'm doing with it. As long as it stays together and these cracks don't open up.